it's easier with depression to feel overwhelmed and overcome than it is when you're not struggling with depression. And I think my best analogy for this really is that it's like waves, and the fact that it takes only a little wave to knock over a small child, but a very big wave to knock over a grown man. And I think having depression makes me feel a bit more like the small child. And so now the size of the wave it takes to knock me over and set me back is much smaller than it is in a season when I'm feeling like I'm flourishing. And to give you an example of some of these setbacks, getting a cold would be one, something that we all have to deal with. It's just part of life living in England. Let's all leave. But actually, I've never really been someone to go to bed with a cold, and certainly not to milk it. I am a woman. But earlier this year I got a cold and I had it for 6 weeks. It didn't go. And I just think it's things like that, like the depression seems to affect everything, not just my mental health, but my physical health or my ability to recover. And it has a knock-on effect. So when I have a cold, normally it's just a cold and I get on with life, and then the cold's gone in a couple of weeks and I just make sure I eat more veg. But with having a time of depression and then having a cold, it's like the cold knocks on and I feel tired, and it's an extra challenge to keep eating well. And then in a way, because my productivity is lower at the moment anyway, having something as simple as a cold feels like an extra slap in the face, because then my productivity drops even more. I think there's all sorts of things like this, but it is just about the size of a wave, and I definitely think I could have been really unsympathetic with people who felt overwhelmed by small things before. But actually, I would say that small things can affect me more. On the upside, something like spilling something or smashing a cup, or like last night, one of the shelves in my fridge breaking and everything from it just falling on the floor, I deal with that a lot better than I did. And I think that is almost because I've learned not to really let small things bother me. And the shelf falling on the floor, it's a 5-10 minute clean-up job. But something that actually affects how I feel, I do find harder. So the cold, or not sleeping for a few nights, having a bad conversation, or having a bad moment with a couple of friends can feel, again, much more challenging. So, yeah. Thanks for stopping by.